Hello, my name's Jin, and I am going to platinum every Assassin's Creed game in order. There are currently 15 and a bit mainline games in the Assassin's Creed series, so let's jump straight in with the first game. But wait, you are surely furiously typing in the comments below, what is this? Something's not right here. Assassin's Creed was released in 2007, and trophies were implemented in 2008, and I can tell by the pixels and frames and gamma rays that this isn't a PlayStation. Well, you're right, and very smart, handsome, and/or beautiful too. Assassin's Creed was released on Xbox 360 and PS3 in 2007, but trophies were not available. Achievements, however, were on the 360. Also, I already have most of the games on the PlayStation and this one on Xbox, so just suck it up and let's complete Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed was originally envisioned as a follow-up to the Prince of Persia series before it was worked on as an independent story for the 7th generation consoles. Set in the 12th century during the Third Crusade in the Holy Land, you play as Altair, who is on a quest to regain his honour as an assassin after a botched mission to recover a piece of Eden, an artefact from a prehistoric civilization with power that could reshape the world. To start off, we'll just play through the story for most of the secret achievements and picking up others as we go along. In total, there are 13 unmissable story achievements that we'll pick up. 3 for the tutorial, 2 as Altair, 1 as Desmond, then 1 for each of the story targets, and a bonus for watching the credits. The gameplay loop of Assassin's Creed 1 is pretty simplistic for the most part. Al-Mualim waxes poetic and levels you up before sending us after a target in a district of one of the 3 cities, Damas, Acre, and Jerusalem. Once there, we can check in with our local Avon rep to be pointed in the right direction, or we can just hit the streets and start the investigation. These are eavesdropping, pickpocketing, interrogation, and informer missions. We don't need to do them all, but for Disciple of the Creed, we need to assassinate all the targets with a full synchronization bar, which is not this bar, but this one. And while we're at it, we will also save local citizens and scale the tallest points in each district for a couple of achievements later. On murderation of each target, we are treated to a little final cutscene where they attempt to justify their actions as good for the world or whatever. We need to pay attention here to catch the glitches needed for the Hunger of Knowledge achievement. Then it's back to Al-Mualim for a pat on the head, some kind words and a kick back into the street. Between our fun history lessons, there is also the modern storyline, which takes place in these 3 rooms, featuring 3 people. Desmond Miles, that's us. Lucy Exposition Stillman, and Warren switches moods quicker than my music taste on my morning drive Vidic. Desmond has been kidnapped by Abstergo to participate in experiments on the Animus and, eventually, reveal the locations of Pieces of Eden. During our forced timeouts, we can check in with definitely not Kristen Bell, a woman with a perfectly normal amount of fingers that does not mean anything at all. For conversationalist, we need to keep talking to her until she tells us to take a nap.
Aren't you tired?
That I chose to have, not her. Though it's not strictly necessary, we can also read their emails for some further world building, if you even care about that. For example, something has happened in America and they're escaping to Mexico, Trump be damned. And the continent of Africa is up for grabs for the highest bidder. Back in the 12th century, by around our 8th or 9th target, we should be closing in on a few achievements. By 8, we should have saved all citizens in each district for the 3 Defender of the People achievements, as well as Fearless for scaling and syncing all of the viewpoints. Also by this time, we should have achieved Absolute Symbiosis, where we will have a full health bar up here. I chose to do the kingdom in parts as I visited each city, then each district's viewpoints as I came to them. By the time I reached Robert de Sable, I'd also picked up Hunger of Knowledge for pressing a button when I saw the glitchy noise during cutscenes, as well as Disciple of the Creed for killing all targets with a full sync bar. This is the mostly easy stuff that can't be missed in a normal playthrough. However, being the smart, proactive man I am, I was also working through several other achievements along the way. I've been a regular menace to society, throwing women around when they begged for money and leaping through vendor stalls for Gifted Escapist and Enemy of the Poor. There are many Eagle-themed achievements, which, depending on whether you feel like it or not, you can complete as you progress or leave for later. The easiest combat achievement was Eagle Swiftness, which is for performing 100 counterkills. Just hold down right trigger and press X when they swing. Eagle's Will is awarded when you defeat 100 enemies. Eagle's Dance is for performing 50 Leaps of Faith? Big jumps. And Eagle's Talon is for stealth assassinating 50 people, while Eagle's Prey is for specifically assassinating 100 guards. These can be pretty easy to pick up as you progress, and if you're not a silly dum-dum like I am, you might even get Eagle's Eye for killing 75 guards with throwing knives. It wasn't until later in my playthrough that I realised I didn't know how to combo kill my enemies, so I stopped for a quick lesson in Mass IF, and then went on to rarely manage a successful combo kill in a lot of fights. In fact, in the end, I didn't even realise I had Eagle's Dive and could go back to counter kills. It was also around this time that I decided to lock in for Eagle's Challenge and Eagle's Flight. For the challenge, you have to kill 25 guards in a single fight, which I achieved by grabbing a few groups and then legging it off to find more when I was running out. At the end of this, I kept one alive for a little while longer to survive 10 minutes of combat without dying. Once the main storyline was finished, I remembered I had not yet done Blade in the Crowd, which was for killing a target with a stealth assassination, despite my best efforts. At first, I thought I was going to have to start the whole game over, losing my save file, so I'd just wait until I'd done everything. But then, I made a big brain genius level discovery. You can select previous memory blocks from the Animus menu and just have to do all the investigations again. With that quick aside out of the way, we're now on to the fun part. Ubisoft's flagship mechanic, collecting absurd amounts of stuff from across the map. So let's go collect some flags. And not just one flag. Oh no! It's 7 types of flag. Each city has 100 flags hidden around it, plus there are 100 in the kingdom and 20 in Masayaf for a cool 420 flags, blaze it. For some reason, they split the flags in Akka into 3 sets, and, for an even stranger reason, someone didn't record collecting 1/3 of them. At this point, I just chose a zone at a time and had a map open on a second screen to make my life easier. I even paid £3.86 for the privilege of being able to track more than 50 collected flags on the map at a time. So, shout out to mapgenie.io for that. And while I was on my flag hunt, I finally completed another achievement, the Hands of a Thief, which I was really pleased with. Oh, thank God. At least that won't be my last achievement now. Just dropping in here to let you know that I messed up and missed an achievement because I am a professional. We've missed March of the Pious, which is for blending in with the scholar groups 20 times. And now it's night time. Oh, hang on, night time. We've got a bunch of Templar Knights standing around waiting to be killed. And I've accidentally already killed a few, so let's just mop up the rest. Map is back open. The cities were pretty quick and easy, then it was on to the kingdom until finally, Personal Vendetta. And that is a wrap on Assassin's Creed. Woo! Ultimately, I've always thought of Assassin's Creed 1 as a tech demo for the series. The core elements of the game are there, the parkour, the stealth, the assassinations, but it's not fully fleshed out yet and will be continuously refined in the future. But for the first foray into the Assassin's Creed series and knowing where the story leads in the future, I think Assassin's Creed 1 still holds its ground. It's janky, it's clunky, and it's not as nice as its myriad of younger siblings, but it is a decent game and can be finished in a weekend if you want to. So, thank you for joining me for this video, and I hope I'll see you next time for the next one, which will be, of course, Assassin's Creed 2. I want to give a quick shout out to a few people who've made this a lot easier. Thank you, Arncar, the Fun K Gibbon, Jaffa Cake 134, and to my good friend Nick. Couldn't have done this without you. Looking forward to the next one. See you then. Like and subscribe and whatever.